So we're here with Tammy Kelly. And Tammy, you are at what in career sales?
1.8 million.
1.8 million. That is awesome. Now, I've listened to you speak a little bit about your story before. So if I'm correct, you started because someone came to your house to do a demo and you loved the product, but there wasn't an office in your area. So you asked her about selling Cutco, and she basically came out as a rep who was actually very new to the business and just sat down with you for like 5 or 6 hours and trained you on Cutco.
Exactly.
Gave you a training manual and a sample kit.
Yep.
And all that stuff. That's awesome. You said you just followed the manual, did demos,
Basically just,
got referrals.
yep, just did what I was taught in that 5 hours and knew nothing more. And I didn't know very much because what can you learn in 5 hours?
So basically, you sold $1 million worth of Cutco, just doing demos, getting referrals, making phone calls, following the manual with essentially no advanced training at that point.
No training, period.
No training, other than the 5 hours.
Yeah, the 5 hours.
That's pretty exciting. That's pretty awesome.
I wanted to have a Homemaker Plus 8, and I couldn't afford even one knife.
And so you knew that if you sold it, you'd get a discount.
Right. So I got signed up to sell it, and in my first 10 days I sold 10, or no, I guess it would be a week is a fast start, right?
No, it's 10 days.
Is it 10 days? Okay, in that 10 days then I did 10,000.
So over 10K in the first 10 days in your fast start, so you could win all the Cutco stuff.
Exactly.
And that was with barely any training.
Yeah.
That's without knowing anything about a trade-in special or homemaker builders or any of that stuff.
No, never have really done any of that stuff because I've really not known what it was all about.
That's so cool. So, how much Cutco do you have now in your personal collection?
I think I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I have everything Cutco sells, and probably at least 2 of everything Cutco sells.
Yes, and you cook a lot.
I cook a lot.
You said you have a farm.
Yeah.
And so you've often had to feed even all the helpers and stuff during harvest and stuff.
Yeah.
So you've cooked a lot.
Last year we had 10 hired men. 10 men.
Right.
If you feed 10 men,
it's
a lot.
Especially when they work a hard day.
And
they're hungry.
We feed them well.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell me that since you are a person that uses Cutco all the time and you love the product, like if you were a customer, even just using it yourself, what do you think is the best thing about Cutco in your cooking? Like how has it helped you in cooking?
Oh, it saves so much time. The biggest time saver would have to be the French chef or vegetable knife, something for chopping, because I had never done anything like that. I used to cut every piece of celery or every carrot with my paring knife one at a time.
That takes forever.
Now I can make a pot of soup in 10 minutes. You know, I do everything all at once, and it's just so quick.
That is awesome. So it saves time.
Saves time.
Is it easier too? Is it the sharpest thing you had since you?
Oh my goodness. That's why I wanted every knife when I saw that demo. When that rep did that demo, I just kind of said in my mind, where have these knives been my whole life?
Totally.
Because I was one that was always buying knives, looking for that good knife.
Do you also have the cookware?
I do. I have everything in.
I'm just checking. Just making sure we agree. Some people say they have everything, like customers, not reps, but some customers are like, I already have it all. And then you get there and they have like a galley and you're like, you don't have it all. Yeah.
No, I have it all. I really, truly feel very blessed.
Right.
So yeah, the cookware is awesome too. Yeah.
What do you like best about cookware? Because a lot of reps don't actually even know much about cookware.
Really?
So what would you say are
Well,
the
I'm
coolest
kind
things?
of like you, Amy. I've turned into kind of a health nut. And so I can cook my food for my family totally healthy. I don't put a drop of water in for any of my frozen vegetables, like anything that I can, like my peas or beans or corn that are in the deep freeze. There's enough just ice crystals on them. That's all I need. And if you don't add the water and you don't cook on high heat and you don't have the lid off, you're keeping all the nutrition in the pot. And so
and the flavor.
Oh yeah, and the color and everything. So I want to do the best I can at feeding my family healthy food.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it probably saves money too.
Yeah.
Just because I've heard I don't cook meat anymore, but I've heard that the meats, tend to not shrink as much.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff.
And it cooks quicker because it heats so evenly and
Right.
that it's cooked, you're saving on your power,
Yeah, definitely lower.
Everything
Yep,
about
less
it.
energy.
Yeah.
Easy to clean.
Oh yeah.
I find it super easy to clean
Yeah.
too.
It's beautiful stuff.
Lasts forever. It's awesome.
Well, yeah. The
Guaranteed.
forever guarantee is pretty hard to beat with all the Cutco. Because that's another thing that I don't like repeat buying. Kind of tight, I guess.
Frugal.
Frugal. Is that
That's
a better
good.
word?
Yeah, I'm frugal.
I don't like to be wasteful.
Right.
And so if I can buy something once and never buy it again, it's way smarter in the long run. And if I can just, get that across to my customers, they know it's true too.
Totally.
I think when you're just starting, you're not convinced that they're going to buy that set. Because if you think it's too much money, you're not going to sell it. Now I totally think it is so
Worth it.
reasonable and worth it that I think it's an injustice to not sell them a set.
But why? What would new reps don't always understand? Why is a set beneficial compared to pieces?
Well, I guess I wouldn't be happy with pieces myself. So, and if you buy everything piece by piece, you're going to end up spending more, and they won't be in a block right from the start, so they're not going to last as good. They won't be protected. I just think sets are the best value, and I want to do the best for each customer. So if you can make it clear to them that it is the best value, and we can do it over 5 months. Some reps don't do the 5-month thing very.
Payment options.
Yeah, I've had reps tell me I don't even offer that.
That's crazy.
I would have sold half.
I use payment options all the time.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Especially because it doesn't change anything. It's the same price.
Yeah.
And you still get the same CBO. And, I mean, it's not negative in any way.
No, and you need to offer that to them because that might be the way they can do it. And if you don't tell them, it's not fair to them.
Oh, I agree. In fact, if they find out later they had a payment option and you didn't tell them, they could actually be really mad at you.
Yeah.
When you started, it was mostly about getting the knives. Was it also a little bit about making some extra money, or was money?
Yes, absolutely. Because at the time, like I said, at that time, I couldn't afford to buy them. So I never really thought it was going to be that kind of a business until after that fast start. That fast start probably made me realize what I had working for Cutco. Because if I could do 10,000 in a week or 10 days, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, because that would be like a $2,000 paycheck. I mean, right? 10,000 in sales when you're brand new. I think it's like $2,000 in income, somewhere around there.
Yeah, it could be. I don't remember. That's
maybe it's 1,000.
17 years ago.
I'd have to look it up, but
yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but it was a lot of money
awesome.
to me. I mean, I was 34 years old when I started. I had 4 kids, and lots of expenses with 4 kids, and farming. We were always trying to expand the farms, which means we're always buying more land, which means it's not easy.
Money's always tight.
Yeah,
and you're always reinvesting.
Exactly. So it just changed our life right from that moment I started on. It totally did.
What keeps you selling Cutco now? What do you love about being an FSM or a CSP?
What keeps me selling Cutco? Well, if I was to be honest, I'd maybe be ashamed to say it. The money does.
You don't have to be ashamed. It's good to make a good income, especially for the hours. You said you mostly, at this point in your life, you're mostly working weekends when you do the shows, right?
Yeah, I'm home all week, go and work a show, home all week. And Josh just asked me how many months that I don't work.
Right.
Oh, when I figured it out, there's 6 months out of the year that I don't work.
So you worked about 6 months last year, and how much were your sales last year?
219,000.
219 grand.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
It is an amazing job.
Plus you can win trips. I know we've seen each other on.
Yeah, that's a perk. There's many reasons I keep selling Cutco. I will never quit selling Cutco.
Just to wrap up, is there anything else you'd want to share with people, either about your experience with Cutco or the product itself, or anything that I haven't asked you about?
Well, I guess the reason that I think I have sold $1.8 million in Cutco is that I love it so much. So product conviction. And I also don't think it's expensive at all. I bought a new fridge not long ago, and I paid $1,800. And And they had the nerve to tell me it would last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what? Well, $1,800 for 10 years is expensive. But like our homemakers are like $1,200 and some dollars forever.
Right.
So if a new rep realizes that and gets it out of their mind that it's expensive and that, like, how am I going to go sell a $1,200 set of knives? You can't think that way. It's the most value,
Totally worth it.
totally worth it.
And
I've
you run into
ever bought.
customers that have had it for, have you ever run into anybody that's had it for like, 30 years or
Yeah,
whatever?
At the shows I have.
And they're like, it's the best money I have spent.
Every one of my customers says it's the best thing I ever bought.
Mhm.
So in 17 years, I don't have one unhappy customer.
Oh, yeah.
So how
Me
could
too.
you not love selling it?
I know.
It's
No one ever regrets buying it. Sometimes they regret not buying it.
That's right.
So,
Or not. I've had people regret not buying the ultimate.
they're not buying enough of it.
Yeah,
Yeah. as
they
much as
bought the
want.
homemaker or the signature, and they'll come back and say, "I wish I'd have just bought the ultimate."
Mhm.
You know.
You know what else is funny, since you said that? So many people that do start with pieces in smaller sets end up upgrading to a homemaker at least later. That's such a
Always.
popular order at shows and on service calls. So if there's a rep thinking maybe a homemaker's too much or too big or whatever, just know that they're gonna probably get it eventually. It's just a better deal for them to get it now.
Exactly, and because I like the best value, I just want to give them the best value. So, in other words,
Like,
get them into a set of some kind right off the bat.
yeah, set of some kind. And homemakers are probably the best to start with if they can afford it.
Yeah.
Homemakers at least probably the best to start with.
It is. I really don't ever drop below a galley +6, because once you go lower than that, then I think they take out. You don't get the,
Some of the key pieces.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I don't really advise the smaller sets myself because I wouldn't be happy with them.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thanks for all the tips, and keep your eyes open for the next QRT.